Okay, good morning everyone. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, everyone, welcome to the third weeks of our materials about analysis and also design information system. Today I would like to present you based on Mr. Fajar Pradana S.T. M.Eng from Fasilkom Brawijaya about the concept of requirements engineering, ya, or konsep rekayasa kebutuhan. Okay, the aim of this material is first to understand about um, what an urgency rekayasa kebutuhan. Then to understand the process, then to understand the problem when we do some uh, engineer requirement. Okay, then we have fourth agenda. First is about understanding, then the second is urgency and also the functions, the third is processes, then the last is problems. Okay, the motivation is the hardest single part of building a system is deciding what to build based on the Brock in 1987. And the most customers say that I know you believe you understood what you think I said, but I'm not sure you realize that what you heard is not what I mean. So you should remember it. Okay. And first, we start with question what is RA or requirement engineering. Requirement engineering, or we can call it as RE, is different names of requirement analysis. Each software development processes goes through the parts of the RE, the processes of establishing the services that the customer requires from a system and the constraints under which it operates and it develops. This best Ian Sommerfeld said, then the broad spectrum of tasks and techniques that lead to an understanding of requirement based on Mr. Roger S. Pressman. These are definitions of RE. So, um, in the way to build a good applications, we should have a good RE or requirement engineering. Why? Because with good understanding about the requirements, you can propose a good feature from your for your applications. Without knowledge about the detailed requirement, you will be miss so many things and it will be increase your budget. That's very important. Then what is requirements? Requirement is based on IEEE. Conditions are capability that needs by user to solve problem and to get some goal, yeah, some specific goal maybe or aim, and conditions are capability that should be fulfilled or have by a system to appropriate with the contracts, standard specification, and also some document formal, the others document formals. Then every its functions, constraints, and also property should be available and fulfilled to reach the needed of the system that needed by the customers. Okay, it's based on Air Doji Abbott. Okay, categoricals of needed. First is functionals. What a system does. Describes about the process, the inputs on and also the outputs. So when we are talking with the customer and the users, they sometimes they say it's about they have some data and they have some procedures. Then the procedure resulted in the document or some document, and then they talking about how the company proceed the document, and then how they make a decisions based on the document that have been processed before. So this flow you should be deeply you should have deeply knowledge about this flow because it's very important. Then the non-functionals, constraints or quality of the system is about the performance, availability, security, reliability, implementations, and design constraint, and also storage sizes. Okay, so as a developer, you should have also have a good knowledge about the non-functional. Then these aspects you should learn by time, by project uh, to fulfill a system based on your requirement. For example, if your client need to proceed a huge number of data, you should have good performance applications, effective code, and also good quality of the infrastructures. And also, you should think about the storage size. It should be appropriate for the huge number of data. Then usability, constraints to use, accepted criteria and user characteristic, and also system environments. I think that everyone have been learned about the usability before. Usability mean relate with the human computer interactions course. Yes. Um, Usability mean that how the applications easy to use. They not need a great effort for user to learn how to use it. Just simple, I think. Then level of needed. First is normal requirements. There is needed that should be fulfilled, and sometimes the user sets by explicit. For example, is functional system, and then the work, the flow of the system. Expected requirements needed that not really set by the customer or explicit, but it's very important to uh, make sure that customer satisfied. It's like how easy interactions with the system and also the correctness of the system. Then exciting requirements. This is needed that beyond the needed of the normals of the customer to more satisfying the customers. This is about for example, is functional tasks. You add more functional tasks for your system that you think that it will be make customer more satisfied about your system. Urgency and also functions. If you don't analyze, it highly like that you'll build a very elegant software solutions that solve the wrong problems. The result is waste time and also money, personal frustrations, and unhappy customer. The last is very important. Don't make your customer unhappy, because in unhappy customer it means you can carry the plus money from your customer. Okay, function of RE, as what is uh, apa wih? Kesepakatan ini bahasa Inggris agreement ya, as agreements between developer, customer, and also the users about the requirement that should be fulfilled by the developer. Then uh, to be a best line that accurate for the team developer to develop a good applications, and to be referenced by PL validations. Then the processes. Processes is to find out and also analyze the needed, for example, request elicitations and also analysis. Then specifications, for example, is specification about the software that needed by the customers. Then validations and also verifications of needed. For example, is validation and also verification of the flow and the functions of the software that should be fulfilled by the developer. Then and management of needed. Okay, first is inceptions, then elicitations, then elaborations, then negotiations, then specification, validation, and requirement management. So this is very important. The uh, fourth thing is very important, to make sure your specification is detailed and is represent what the customer needed, and validations is based on your latency experience, to make sure that your software, your applications will be approved, will be certified the customer. Then the last is requirement management. Elicitasi and also analysis. Yeah, developers should know about the problem domain of the customer needed, because without knowledge about the domains of needed, you can decide which functions, which step that you should be carry out in your process maybe, or your purpose proposal to your customers. Developer and also stakeholders carry out the application domain, then the services of the system that should available, then the environments of the system that needed, and also the constraints of the infrastructure, and etc etc. Focus with what but not how. You should focus on the what. Then communications is a major factor in elicitasi and also analysis. So you should have a good communication with your customer, with your partner, and with every step uh, when you proceed your analysis. Then create find out the domain and define the requirement. Okay, inceptions. In this stage, developer asks questions. First is knowledge about the problem domain, then the users, which solutions that user needed, and then how to communicate and also collaborate it with the developer and also the potential users. Then the aim of this stage is first to identify the stakeholders or persona, then to identify a kind of point of view, identity started collaborations between developer and also users, and started communication. Then uh, early citations processes very hard because first the problems based on system scalability is a main difference for every each problem or for every each user. Understanding about the problems and what the exact user needed, and about the domain, and about how the system should be used by the user and also the environments is very important, because there is so many factors that distract you, and you can uh, get precisely informations. And uncertainty is a very big problem because the needed is timeless here. They change time by time. Then elicitations spread in the two measures activity. First is collaborative requirement gatherings, is meeting, brainstorming, etc., etc. And then quality function development, translation based on the user needed to system needed more technically, and identifications and the level of needed, normal, expected, and exciting requirements. Elaborations, informations that has been processed by inceptions and elicitations, then be analyzed or to spin out and to build out. Yeah. Elaborations focus on to create techniques model about the functions, about the feature, and about the constraint of the system. Model analysis is a use case, then classes, best classes, and also the SDLC. And last, there is images of the functions, informations, and the habit of the system. Then negotiations. This process um, aim to decrease conflicts between user and also the developer in so many things. So users and also developer can have same perceptions about limitations of the uh, resources, yeah, to these applications, or may it will be time to solve it, to the and also the infrastructure exactly. Then rank the list needed or prioritizations based on stakeholders, and the risk for every each needed uh, will be identifications and also analysis by the developer. And then with the iterative processes, the needed may may erase or uh, split it or modified or to merge so the stakeholders can reach same point of view with the developer, and it is very hard step when you're trying to create a good software, I think. Then specifications. This process needed uh, to 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 to, to describe needed of VL that have been defined before, more detail, more precisions, and more with method, and I will be a best of for design and also the implementations processes. Specifications are the finals in the RE that resulted a document SRS or software requirement specifications. Then validation and also verifications. This process to recheck to ensure that every needed have been defined and lies on specification that correct, accurate, and complete. This step together with the developer and also the customer. This step is very important because if you miss in this step will be affected in whole process. Validation, do we make the right product? Verifications, we make the product right? Technique review, software specification review, SSR, prototyping, executable model of the system or software. You can use both of these, review and also prototyping, I think. Then parameters. Parameter validation. First is validity. Does the system provide the functions with the best support the customer needed? Consistency. Are there are requirement conflicts? Then comprehensibility. Are all functions required by the customer include? Parameter verification, reliability, testability, completeness, identifiability, and ambiguity. And management of needed. This activity needed to controls about the needed that that, that have or would, yeah, have been defined and specifications. First is identifications. How 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 for every needed will be identifications uh, in easy way. Sample is using the name SRS, PRC, blah 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 blah. Then management of changings, how mechanisms to facing changes of needed in the way you finish your applications, documentations, SRS, and also ERS as a deliverable, and also ECB, and also PCR trackings to track the informations uh, that relates with the needed, the resource, and also the allocations. The problem, stakeholder, end user, manager, maintenance anchor, policy maker, not not know precisely about what exactly they needed. Stakeholder say that they need it in the language that cannot easy to understand by their own. Stakeholders they have a different needed. Every stakeholders, both of them have a different needed. They're very contrast for every each stakeholders. Maybe the needed change when we do an analysis. Stakeholders new stakeholders that join in the middle of process may change, and also the business environments change uh, by the time. Then uh, difference between performance and also simplicity to reach the aims. The problem, customer explanations, project leader understanding, design by analysis, code by programmer, described by past consultant, project documented, operation installation, customer cost, support, and customer really needed. So amusing, yeah? Okay, so amusing. So just simple, if you can describe detail about what exactly customer needed, you will not waste your time to create some like this. Okay, so this is important to know exactly about your customer, because when you create the application, it's not based on your good performance, but it's based on how you to fulfill the customer needed. Okay, summary. RE give developer a fundamental things to design and also implementations. Without RE, PL product that resulted in a high risk and may they not suitable for the customer needed. Process in RE, like elicitasi, analysis, specifikasi, validations, verifications, and also management of needed. Uh, a needed should be validations and also verification before use as a fundamental thing in the creating design. Yeah, it's very important. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm sorry this week we can't meet in the class, but I hope next Monday we will be together in the class. Thank you very much for your attention, class. Akhirul kalam, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.